I like how you have all of your teas and cups and everything lined up on this shelf. That's really neat. That's something that we need in the game. Just something that it takes a little bit of time. I like the look of this room here. Hey, it's Offending Commit. I'm back for another Palia tour. We're revisiting one of the people that we've toured before, Nebula White Star. I just want to go ahead and I'll give y'all a little plug. If you're interested in the tour, I'm going to have a link to sign up in the description. Definitely check that out. How are you doing today, Nebula?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm digging all the trees. I love trees. I like how the trees kind of frame up your house too. And you got this nice little path.
Yes. Again, most of the properties I've been inviting you to tour, they're all business related, and we've got another business, and so like it said, it wants to showcase the business, welcome people on in, and you've caught us just in time for the holidays.
Perfect. Let's go. Where are we going first?
I'll probably start you with the outside. It's a tea house and gardens, and one of the first things I decided to do was include just a pair of lovely garden areas outside, and that's kind of taking from the same idea I did of the landscaping over there, except it's specifically just fountains and gardens. You can sit down if you want using the new sit down emojis.
Yes.
Lovely.
So nice.
But yeah, people can just enjoy the outdoors, the like you say, the trees, the sound of the softly bubbling water, etc.
Yeah.
And there's another nearly identical garden area over there. I say nearly because not everything quite lined up the same way the second time.
I like how you frame everything though with the fencing and the bushes and everything, the greenery.
And the trees too.
Yes, definitely the trees. How you wrap them around with the fence. That's really creative.
Yeah, they just snapped right in there. So that's I believe I set the posts first, and then the trees snapped right up against the corners of the posts.
Perfect. That's awesome.
All right. And like I noted, or decorated for Christmas, there are some people in your Discord, some of your group that have done way more in the sense of decorations, but I didn't want to overpower the rest of the building.
No, so, that's a good strategy, definitely.
Yep. All right, and I'm ready to go ahead and come on in.
Ooh, I love this.
First, yes, I used the Inquisitor desk to make essentially a front check-in desk. I mean, it's the first true desk we've had in game.
Right.
Too bad we can't color it, because I really liked the green, the soothing green. It felt, like it fit a dignified tea, basically tea house, and it just sort of it felt about right for me.
Yeah, I love the green too. It is very soothing. Very calming, and I like how you use this as a little check-in stand. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to treat it like a business, you can go ahead and set it up like you would any other restaurant, etc.
I like the look of this room here.
Yes, essentially, it's kind of a place just to relax in front of a fire. If you want to bring your tea over here and be warm and cozy,
yeah, you got your
by all means.
Tea brewing right there.
One place. I mean, several different kinds are available. I know a lot of people will either make it out of the Dragon's Beard peat. Some will make it out of the knapweed, and I'm sure they will. The devs will come up with other options as to make the tea out of as well. Wouldn't surprise me if some of the flowers made good tea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like a hibiscus type thing.
Yes. Probably like the teas made out of the lilies or the lotus flowers.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. That's something
Yes.
that we need in the game. Just something that
Yeah.
it takes a little bit of time. I like your kitchen. Very
Yes.
nicely laid out.
It's meant to be, like I say, functional and suitable for a business kitchen.
Mhm.
I've got in the pantry, of course. This pantry houses more teapots, and I've kind of set, since the actual fridge doesn't open. I've kind of used this as another refrigerator case for
Yeah, I like that.
for pastries,
Definitely.
because
That's
most
usually
of
what you
your-
would find, right? You would find, pastries in a fridge that's already made. They're
Mhm.
setting, and when people order it, they pull it out of the fridge.
Right. And depending on which kind of tea you go to will determine how fancy it is. I'm a bit of an Anglophile, so I'm familiar with the British afternoon tea. I actually made a presentation one time on the whole, all the courses and the different kinds of sides you can have. But
Soup to nuts.
kind of, yeah.
I know, I'm just speaking. I like how you have the shelves and the lights hanging down from them. I think that's really creative.
I rated that from one of the other decorators, but of course these I've noticed that some shelves don't flip upside down. The Ravenwood thankfully does,
Yeah.
and of course it colors well, so it fits right in with the green theme, and it gives a softer lighting rather than some of the harsher chandeliers.
Yeah, I totally agree with
Yeah.
that. It's really nice and subtle.
Yeah.
Like this little tuck away bathroom area.
Yeah, I mean, we do need a bathroom, a nice area for that. But again, privacy for our guests.
I like how you have all of your teas and cups and everything lined up on this shelf. That's really neat.
Thank you.
Very clean.
I've learned that I'm pretty much one of those people who tries to line it up. It takes deliberate thought for me to not line it up, to put it a little off kilter.
Mhm.
Even in real life, my furniture seems to be lined up and symmetrical. So it's kind of funny how there seems to be people who either do it the one way, everything's neat, orderly, almost rigid to some degree,
Right.
versus people who kind of say that doesn't feel very lived in.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, there's some people that do, and what I get from your build in particular is that it's a business. So you have somebody that comes in behind and straightens out the chairs and everything, versus a house, which is just kind of like, just gonna push them up there. It's good. It's fine. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like you say, thered be somebody to clean up, straighten afterwards. Yeah, that's just normal part of business.
I'm just doing a little pan around, getting all the sight lines, so you got everything nice and clean, and the soothing green.
I have actually three outdoor areas. You can get to this one from the indoors or the outdoors as well if you go around the gardens. But this is what I have
Ooh.
lovingly taken to calling the Nevermore room.
Yeah, I dig this. I like
Yeah.
how you use the trees as a border. I mean, it makes it feel like it's a gazebo in the middle of a forest. And I know, some people are like, yeah, come in, I get it, but really though, the way that you have them close together, it does make them look like they are, like it's a dense forest, without it just being like, yeah, it's a bunch of trees, put up next to each other. But the way that this is laid out is really, really clean. I always like the gazebos since they're circular, when people kind of put a focal point in them, even though it's just like, hey, you stay in here. This is where you go. Now, I like how everything is nice and neat, and it does, like, I do like the feeling that I get from your builds, that it does seem commercial in a way. It's like you have actual tables with seating, and it seems very fancy, and you would have somebody come in here and be like, yes, what can I get for you today?
Yeah. The two builds I've I've been touring you on are definitely, like you say, commercial type of properties. I do have one that's actually my home property, but I am not considering that tour worthy by any stretch. It's functional.
That's okay. That is okay.
But,
I like this. I like this design, definitely.
Yeah, the trees serve both, ambiance and I guess you could say light blocking, which is part of the ambiance. Because you see, now that you come out, it's bright as day, but there in that gazebo, no, it gave that darker ambiance.
Yeah, that's a good setup.
Yeah, and this is just I made it a very simple outdoor, enjoy the holiday settings. At this point, it's not fancy because I'm still trying to figure out what else I want to add to the property.
Yeah, that's always... And the reason why I like showing stuff like this in particular is if you're starting out in Palia and you're like, what do I do? Because there's a lot of analysis paralysis that can happen in Palia. You can take a look at this and say, all right, this is a starting point, you know? I'm going to craft some chairs and some tables and put down something. And then you have a framework in which you can just kind of start adding things to it and see how it feels. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I figured if Eshe ever wants to come to my property, she's going to want a private room to entertain her guests.
I totally, and tell me in the comments if y'all agree, I totally get the Esh vibe here. It does seem very stately, you know?
Stately and posh are some of the words that come to my mind.
And this totally caught my eye when I first arrived on your plot, like the walkway that you lead up to it. And that's just a good tip altogether. It's like if you're going to do, like when you get the gazebo, it's a big deal. And if you add some things to it that just kind of guide your eye, and it's like you walk along this way. And I've had a couple of tours where people, they lead, you know, they have like this little walkway into the gazebo. Very well done. Very well done. Even though this is a retour, we still got to do a Q&A. So let's go to the coziest place on your plot or your house. So yeah, since this is a retour, right? What inspired you to do this second business of yours? Because the first one, if I remember, that was an Airbnb.
It was a bed and breakfast. You've got basically
not
it was
an
the
Airbnb,
house
but a bed and breakfast.
Well, you can look at it either way, but yeah, like you say, the first one, it was just an idea that sprang for what I was already doing. This one, I actually had the idea and then built it. I've always enjoyed a good tea, and like I said, bit of an Anglophile, and you know, while so many other people just they love their coffee. My brother still drinks my share of coffee and then some. My father did the same. If I can ever find that tape, that recording, they had actually recorded one of my jazz bands in high school, and of course the tape recorder was there on the table,
right?
And it was basically during a dinner that was being served by some of the other high school students, and every so often you could hear my father basically thanking the server or asking for coffee refills. But yeah, I've always been one for tea. Coffee smells wonderful, but it's a little too strong, and I just enjoy the different flavor profiles of tea. In fact, I have a really nice Assam beside me as we're making this video.
Speaking on tea, right? Do you drink milk with your tea?
I do enjoy milk and sweet with my tea. I've tried it several different ways just to see which I like best, but unfortunately I'm lactose intolerant.
Right.
So I've learned how to drink it with just the sweet and not the milk. Although I could do a substitute like either soy milk or almond milk. That's cool. Yeah.
That is really cool. So we definitely need some Palian teas for sure.
Yes. I know in real life, I love the flavor of both Assam and Darjeeling. They're among my favorites.
Hey, if you're a tea lover, definitely leave a comment and let me know what your favorite kind of tea is. So, all right, so we'll end with one more question, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a new plot. Let's say that there is a quote creative mode in Palia, which means that you can craft whatever you want. You can have as many items as you want on that plot. What kind of plot would you do? Like, what would be your next business?
Oh, believe it or not, I've got another business I'm working on.
What's that?
I call it Cernak Savannah, and I was originally thinking of doing it as a combined plot, but the more I thought about it, no, I separated them out. It's essentially a bar and grill, aquarium, and insectarium.
Nice.
So you might say it's in process. There's one or two things that I really want to do to quote unquote finish it, and that's get the last few dang starred fish.
Yeah.
Because
elusive.
The restaurant portion I put outside, and I thought rather than dividing it by trees or furniture, why not use my fish? They're far more interesting.
They are.
So in Cernak Savannah, I've got several tables and chairs, all the eating areas, and they're divided by fish tanks. But
that's awesome.
I still have about 6 left, and of course they're all rare and epics.
So you got a bed and breakfast, you have a tea garden, and then you're working on a steakhouse, essentially, a restaurant. Yeah. That's fantastic.
In a game type of area, when I finally buy Zeki's little video game machine, it's going to go over there too.
Of course, right. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, Denebula, thank you again for inviting me out to tour your plot. It's always a pleasure to kind of get to revisit people that I've toured before, and I don't know. As a content creator, it's such an honor really to do it, because I've worked with such creative people, including yourself. The fact that everybody just keeps amazing me, honestly. It's like, hey, come on out. You know, maybe you saw like a previous tour, Rusty just completely flipped her house, like just redid everything, and just the creativity that the community has to just build these massive plots and you know, give them purpose and give them story and give them character is just it's really fun for me. It's really fun for me. So I wanted to thank you again, and thank everybody else out there.
And I truly love how we can inspire each other when it comes to ideas. I mean, there are several things here that I admit I rated from other people.
Absolutely. Well, last call. If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and do so. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're wanting a tour, definitely check out the link in the description to sign up and schedule a time to do a Palia tour. They're a lot of fun, and they're really cool way to meet new people.
And don't forget that Friend Commit is one of our Palia partners, basically supporting the game, and they support him back. So definitely like, subscribe, support his work.
I'll see you all for the next Palia tour. Until next time, bye-bye.